streaming.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And it might work. Oh.
We can hope it works. We can hope it works. Good evening, everybody. Let's see how long it takes Twitch to pick up the fact I'm live tonight. We're usually sitting at about a minute before it actually finally recognises I've gone live.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't got anything.
No.
You do.
Right. Oh, there we go. The dashboard says we're live. That's always a plus.
I'm in.
You're in. Excellent.
And my voice is working.
Woohoo!
Stick that down there. Cool. Oh. Right. Whee!
Right then. So, we'll just give it a moment to...
I'm okay at the moment, my love.
Trickle in.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, hello Artemis!
10 says hello. She says hello back. Oh.
Right.
Ooh.
Tom, have you noticed something?
It's dusk.
Again. What do? Every time we start a stream...
It makes it dark.
Every time you join the stream...
It goes dark. Yep.
It's night time.
Yep.
How? How do you manage this?
Oh my god.
What strange skills
That's
do you
good.
have?
I just bring the darkness is all. Right.
Yes, apparently so. Well, that's simply not allowed.
So
We must
what
have
engine
daylight.
Is that? What engine is that? Is it an atmospheric engine?
What engine are we looking at?
The big ones on the side.
Where have you...
Of my
Where have you gone?
skateboard.
Oh, right, yeah. Those are atmospherics.
Atmospherics.
Yeah, so you've got... All of the power on this is atmospheric.
Right.
Yes, chat, I was very nice and I made Tom a DLC-free version of his roller skate so that he could actually take a blueprint for himself to play with.
It also means that I can repair it if I need to as well.
It does indeed. It does indeed. So, we'll see how long this one lasts, but hopefully we're going to spend most of today finishing a rocket. Hopefully.
Hopefully. I'll at least try and see if I can get it airborne. Because, let's face it, that's part of the fun of these things, is that you can get them airborne.
Indeed.
Is that going to work?
Hmm.
Nope, that's just going to break something.
That's an interesting looking username.
What's the...
Just followed. Hoss 00312 with lots of underscores.
It could be legit. Is it literally just followed?
Oh, yep, literally just followed. I was just, it's not what I would call a standard username. It's there's obviously something gone into that.
Yeah. I'm
What have
flying.
you done?
I'm flying again.
It's a car, not an aircraft.
It is most definitely an aircraft. It flies. It has a
You're
fighter
gonna have
cockpit.
so much. You're gonna have so much fun when we actually get you some proper atmospheric flyers.
Ooh.
You really are.
There's just something about getting things to fly that really shouldn't.
Yeah, there is that. Oh, I've also just noticed that my overlay that's meant to be running doesn't seem to be.
Oh,
It's a bit
shit.
annoying. Yeah, I thought I'd experiment with the...
I've no idea where I am now. Oh, that's alright, could have been worse.
Yeah, I experimented with the free Twitch extensions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is one that's meant to give you an overlay that shows what as long as you're broadcasting.
Okay.
But you don't need Streamlabs or anything separate, it just does it from Twitch. And I've got it all set up, and according to Twitch it's running, but I don't know if it's just because I'm looking at it on mobile version, but I can't see any overlay at all.
I can't see an overlay either.
No. We will have to find out if we get someone that's got looking at it on PC, or see if they can see an overlay at some point. But right then. So yes, a few tweaks that were made just after the stream finished last week, because we had a funny 5 minutes of progress before we actually logged off.
Had some crazy ideas. Well, not crazy.
We did. I mean,
they were sensible
actually,
ideas.
I think they're very sensible ideas.
Oh, chocolate covered balls.
So yeah, we
Okay,
have
Maltesers. Thank you.
well, it could have been profit rolls with you. It could have been either.
Nah, profit rolls. Not really.
Fair enough. So the plan was to have one person fly the big rocket and the other person fly the little miner. We decided that that was not the best use of manpower, so we've now made it so it carries 2 miners.
Yep.
So the plan is we now build a crew compartment above this, which is what we've got the starting of here, and the idea is that we both ride the big rocket up there, and then when we get to some ore we can take both mining ships out and get a quicker collection going.
Yeah.
I have realised that we do have one problem with this ship at the moment.
Do we?
Yeah, just a little bit. We have precisely 2 cargo containers on this ship right now.
Right.
And they're both small.
I thought we put the big ones in.
No, we didn't. We had to chop that out for the fuel tank. Because we upped the amount of hydrogen thrust, we had to up the size of the hydrogen storage.
Oh. How are we going to
So,
more cargo containers above?
well, yeah, that's all we're going to be able to do is just fit some more small cargo containers in. We're lucky. I have got a cargo spine that runs right up the middle, so the conveyor system stretches from the top to the bottom of the ship. So we can quite easily have more cargo built into this thing at the top. That's not the end of the world. What's funny is, do you want to know where the 2 cargo containers are right now?
Where are they?
Well, you've got one of them here, which I put in so that we had repair access if we ever needed to repair the miner stored in this bay.
Hang on, Matt, I can't hear you.
Okay.
Kids being
What's up?
stupid outside bikes.
Ah. Damn in real life people.
Right, yep, continue.
Right, so, yeah, we've got this one, which I dumped in so that if we ever needed to repair the mining vehicle, we actually had access to the cargo system.
Yep.
And then the other one is in exactly the same place on the other side.
Yeah, because we mirrored it for the 2.
Yes. So I have just noticed that I need to temporarily move this mining ship out the way.
There's a hole.
Because there is a hole, and I'm also needing to get my desert tan back out. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Right. So we can reattach this. I'm just glad this has got enough thrust in the right directions that it can land in this orientation.
Yeah.
Because otherwise loading those things on was going to get interesting.
I mean, it can't go upside down, we know that. But that's about the only thing
Yes.
this thing can't do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's got good thrust in all other directions, just doesn't really do flipping over on its back.
Nope.
I mean, we technically could boost its thrust in that direction, but that would make it a bit tight going down tunnels, because you'd end up with another row on top.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to end poorly. Anyway, we're not here to mess with the miner.
No, we're here to finish off the rocket.
We are indeed.
You know, I thought this had a couple of those really big, you know, the big ones that I've got on the back of my drill.
Yep, no, we had one of those in, and we ended up swapping it out for a hydrogen tank because we realised just how much hydrogen this thing was likely to burn.
So if we... Hang on, where is it?
Are you looking for the giant cargo container?
Yeah.
I don't... Let's put it this way, if we build the giant cargo container in, it's not going to be immediately after the shuttle bay, it's going to be a bit higher up.
What I was thinking... They look different.
What's that? Are you up to?
They're the ones. We could put them like that.
Oh lord. Right, how are you going to wrap the arm around it?
Tonight.
This is the thing. These would be great for the amount of cargo, but we would have a lot of trouble keeping it with the rocket shape that we've gone for so far. That's the only problem with them, is if we're gonna keep to this quiet traditional rocket shape that we've gone for.
So we're thinking like having to do...
Well, we're either
That sort
thinking
of
like
thing.
that. Yeah, we're either thinking like that, or what we could also do. If I grab, where's my conveyors? There they are. We just grab a couple of those. What we could do is have a large one in the centre.
Yeah?
Hey Dubberkin, I have not checked your rover out yet. No, I did say it was not going to be a quick thing. There has been a lot of things going on that weren't planned this weekend and last week, so I assure you, I will let you know as soon as I have checked your rover out. But yeah, so that's the other option, is have one big cargo container on the centre line.
Well, how many
then
is
work
that
around
big
it.
cargo container worth, if you know what I mean, in comparison to a normal cargo
Right.
container?
So this is 2 million litres, big cargo container,
Mm-hmm.
and the little cargo container is 78,000 litres.
If you were to build normal cargo containers to take up the same space, it would be less, wouldn't it?
Very slightly, I think. But it's how we want to do it, basically.
I mean, I'm all for the symmetry of keeping it running down the middle.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have to balloon it out a little bit anyway at the top, if we want to fit anything useful like a medical base so we can respawn and things like that. So
Yeah.
This was always going to be probably out as far as the lip at the edge of the payload bay.
Mm-hmm. It's going to look really small at the bottom.
Well, until it flares out to the massive set of thrusters.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
But if we do them in line as well, there's nothing
Yep.
to stop you from having... Yeah, doing it like that, so you can have two.
I mean, the only thing we've then got to worry about is the amount of mass we're trying to land with this thing.
It's going to be quite heavy, isn't it?
Especially if we bring that back anything like full. Bearing in mind we can keep the miners completely full as well. So they're bringing back their own cargo.
That's true. Well, in that case, then we'll just
But
have
if you
the one.
think... Yeah, I mean, if you think we've got 2 large cargo containers on the base? No, we've got 1 large cargo container on our base at the moment.
Mm.
It's got 222,000 kilograms of iron in it, and we're only using 33,000 litres of storage.
Oh, okay.
So, I think we'll be okay with 1.
Better, we'll stick with one then.
But yeah, it's yeah. The only reason I don't say go for 2 is the amount of weight that we've got to decelerate coming back into land.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking we might pop some parachutes on this thing just as a fail-safe measure.
You can get parachutes in this?
Oh yeah, you can get parachutes in this. For vehicles at least.
Okay, we'll do that then, and then we'll just have the next layer up to be the cockpit, or whatever you want to call
Cool.
it, the bridge.
Yep, makes sense. Right, I've just realised we're going to actually have to move that up a layer. Because otherwise we're not going to get the drills clear of the payload bay. So it's going to be this level where things start branching back out again. And this is where I play I'm going to rotate the blocks in every direction except the direction I actually need them going.
Oh, I hate that.
Go. There we go. Right. So that, more or less, yeah, that brings it out in line with the payload bay. Just about. Actually, no, that's going to have it 1 block bigger than the payload bay.
Yeah, it's these ones here.
Yeah,
Pointy ones out here.
but to be honest, that might not be a bad thing. Actually, what we could do is, what about if we go like that?
All that I like.
Going in there like that. So what are you building a massive dry dock for then, Dovahkiin? I'm assuming a giant ship. That would be my first assumption. Right, and
Do you really
because I
have
know
a
it's
dry
you-
dock in space?
I mean Star Trek does.
Because they're called dry docks because it takes them out of the water.
Because there's no water in them. Yes, I'm well aware
So
of that.
if you apply the same logic to space, a dry dock is just on land, like in an atmosphere,
Fair enough.
because
Yeah, no, well,
otherwise it would still be in
the only-
space, and then it wouldn't be
yeah,
a dry dock.
the only thing we have to go by is Star Trek, which calls them dry docks, because it's all based on Navy terminology, and anywhere you build a ship is a dry dock. So, meh.
But you could also argue that even if it was open to space, it wouldn't be a dry dock because it's still in the same environment that it's used in normally.
It's funny you mention that, but most of the dry docks in Star Trek aren't actually sealed environments anyway.
So they wouldn't be dry docks; they'd be space docks.
They just call them. Well, it's funny it's funny you mentioned space dock, because they originally started calling them dry docks, and then suddenly at one point, I think it was like third or fourth Star Trek movie, they switched to calling them space dock instead of dry dock.
It does make more sense.
So I don't know if someone sort of poked the production team and went, "Oi, guys, this don't make sense."
It was probably somebody like me.
Why would that not surprise me? Yeah. Right. So.
Sorry, Doverkin. I'm not trying to play down your massive dry dock, but
This is what Tom does, I'm afraid, of again, is he will latch onto something and make strange comments about it.
yeah, absolutely. I just like to get terminology correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, there's a reason I'm building this like that. Because I know you and your love of flashy.
I do like flashy.
So, how do you feel about that?
I don't know about that.
Not sold on the inset windows.
Yeah, not. I like these ones on the sides that are in line, but I think those ones they need to be flush.
They can be flush. I just thought I would try something with a bit more shape to it.
Whoa, that is really rather
He does
sexual.
like a good window. He does like a good window. Does our Tom. Right. So,
One of the very first buildings I made in Minecraft was made entirely out of glass.
I remember that building.
Yeah. And I think it was also round.
Worryingly, I remember that. Yeah. It was, because I remember you cursing it in heaps.
Yes.
Right. So, if we're going to put that there, let's make some use of these cargo points.
Ow.
So we can get some cryopods on here. They would be useful.
Yep.
We are going to want... Oh, yeah, that was the other thing we talked about, wasn't it? The antenna.
Oh yeah, it's gone on the end. On its
Yes,
tip.
we have decided, Stream, that we are going to stick the gigantic dish antenna on the nose of this thing.
Yep.
For some reason. I think it was because we both looked at it and went, yeah, that looks cool. So let's grab some ore detectors, because we're going to need those. And this vessel's just about wide enough that two of them might actually be useful. Oh, we're also going to need to make those doors into the payload bay airlocks, aren't we?
Yes. Yes, this is all going to be... Oh, I got all my disorientation mixed up then.
Oh, and apparently you were standing in the way of the door.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I couldn't see you because I was on the other side of the ship. Right. I'm going to orientate these doors so that down is towards the centre of the ship.
Yep.
So that as you walk out to the mining ship, you're the right way up.
That makes sense.
So,
Ah.
right. So if we're going to pressurise this space, we're going to need some vents. Got a couple of vents in there. Well, Dovahkiin, Tom has actually... he's on the Discord, so as long as you keep posting pictures of your ship on the Discord, Tom would be able to see it there. Right. I'm trying to... I think we're probably better off going with...
I think I did see the diplomatic ship that you put up.
Yeah, he has
Unless
been
you've
posting
changed it.
pictures of it.
Yeah,
I think
I've
he's still
seen it.
working on it. I think he's still working on it. Right. We don't really need a full med bay, do we?
Well, nah,
We
not really.
could probably get away with a survival kit or two.
Yeah.
So if we have one... Well, I'm going to have to turn mirror mode off for a second, because that's driving me mad. If we have one pointing that way,
Just
and one
gonna.
pointing that way,
If I remember right then.
blimey, 70 jump drives, Dovahkiin. Well, I suppose it is a heavy ship, and if you're trying to get a decent distance out of it...
I think I saw that, yeah.
And... Right, do we want this to be able to process its own materials, just in case we break it and need to build stuff?
It makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I have
We
seen it
will
because I
stick...
thought. No, that's not Dovahkiin. That was Panzer. That was Dovahkiin's. I remember seeing Dovahkiin's diplomatic ship.
Yeah, big white wedge at the minute.
Made me think of cheese.
There we go. Right, so... we now have a pair of basic refineries in. And what I am going to do is... this is also going to be a good... yay, that's still structural. Right. So what I've done there... 99 blocks long. That is a seriously large ship. That's got to be well over 200 metres. Or at least getting very close to 200 metres. Though I will fully admit my mental arithmetic is failing me this evening, because I know it's 2.5 block, or 2.5 metres per block. So that should be relatively easy maths. But yeah, not this evening. Right.
Well, if it was 100 in blocks, it'd be 250 meters.
Yeah. This is why I say it's well clear of that mark. Yeah, large grid, I knew that much. Right, so I've taken advantage
Yeah,
of...
it wouldn't be anywhere near as
basic-
big if it was small grid, 99 blocks long.
No, then it would be 0.5 of a metre per block.
Yes.
Right, so I've taken advantage of putting those basic refineries in to give us another cargo access point at the top from the outside of the ship.
Okay.
Which also means, happily, we've got 2 more cargo containers. Because there is going to be nothing worse on this thing than needing to get inside for parts and having to come all the way down here, fly in through the payload bay, go through the airlock when all you need to do is grab one steel plate.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of doing a similar thing and getting some more O2 generators on here.
Well, we might as well make use of the space.
Because we drop that out, we can actually double stack the O2H2 generators, which gives us a bit more detail on the outside of the ship. Because let's be honest, the blocks look nicer than just flat armour.
They do.
And that's now given us 4 extra O2H2 gens for if we absolutely have to refuel this thing in space, we can.
Yep.
All we'd have to do is find an asteroid with ice on it, fill her up. Which may be necessary.
Well, yeah,
Right.
it's always helpful to have the ability to do so.
Indeed. Tom, I put your dish on it. Don't think that's where you wanted it though.
No.
But that does at least give you a sense of the scale of the thing.
Where are we building the bridge on top of this bit then?
Yes.
Right.
Well, we're building the bridge at this level, basically.
Cool.
That is everything functional that we need for this ship. Apart from gyros, we need to fit some gyros into this somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think we've got any yet. I will check that I didn't hide some earlier, but I don't think we've got any gyros. No, all the gyros we've got currently are for the docked mining ship. Now, we don't need many gyros on this, but we are going to need some.
Well, are we
So
building
I'm
a floor
thinking...
over this bit for the bridge?
Right, we have gyros now.
Where they gone? Oh, down there.
They're down here. Yeah. You want the gyros somewhere where they're not going to accidentally get knocked off your ship easily.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, you've done basically the opposite of what I was going to suggest, so that's fine.
Yeah, you were going to have them on the inside of this floor.
Yeah.
Cool, yes, so... basically, Tom, this is now a, air quotes, finished ship.
Right.
Which basically means, if I put a floor in... actually, we're going to want this to be a full block floor because we need to stick things to it. Just had that thought. So anything above this floor is just pure decoration on our part.
Well, we need somewhere to fly the damn thing.
Well, yeah, that is the. Oh no, Tom. Some of the windows may have fallen out of the spaceship. I absolutely didn't delete the block that was holding them in place.
I don't see any missing windows.
There's 4 very missing windows.
You talk about these ones up there.
Yes.
No, that's all right.
Anyway,
Also,
so yeah, anything.
also
from this
need a way to
floor
get through.
upwards, we do, but we can decide where we put that. We can decide where we put that. I just want to get a solid floor in first.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically, this is going to be the command deck. And if you want to do any internal decoration-y type stuff with armories and bunk beds and kitchens and sofas and things, we can.
Well, I think a sofa will come in handy for when we're travelling.
Cool.
Because you only need one pilot.
Yep. Well, I was thinking we, just in case we bite off more than we can chew, I'm thinking we put a Gatling gun turret on this thing so we can have a pilot and a gunner.
Well, that makes sense. We're also going to
Yet
need
to decide
cameras.
where we... not so much on the big one.
I still think it's going to be worth... Well, I suppose you just do an external view, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, big grids like this you mainly fly third person. The only time you'd need a camera is if you were going to do some precision docking or something like that. You'd have a camera above the connectors,
Yep.
which may not be the worst idea, but we'll deal with that right at the end, because we'll have to match the camera to the connector, and that's going to take some doings. Yeah, Dovahkiin, you'll find that if you're designing a massive ship, that you'll just keep tweaking the design, and what you finish with will look nothing like what you started with. I mean, look at this rocket. This looks nothing like what we envisioned when we started.
No.
I mean, the thing that I was planning on building when we first started would have stopped about here. Been about this big. And we'd have been building it in survival this week. But we decided, what the heck, let's have some fun.
Let's go big or go home.
Yeah, pretty much. That is more or less what we decided, is go big or go home. And my god, have we gone big.
I have no idea how we're going to build this in survival.
Okay, so you're still standing at the top.
Yeah, I'm at the top. I'm just floating
So
around.
this is currently a 70-metre rocket.
Nice.
Okay, so first things first, decide where you want to punch a hole where you want the entrance to be, and we'll work from there. That's going to be the easiest way of doing it. Where do you want to come up into this room? And more importantly, do you want this room orientated the way we're walking on it now, or do you want the room to be orientated that way?
No, I like the orientation that it is now.
Thank God for that. Because it makes it a lot easier to build this way.
Yeah.
So, where do you want your way in to be? Do you want it to be on one side, the other, somewhere near the middle? Where are you feeling?
I'm just having a look on the inside of this. I mean, it's all fairly symmetrical.
Yeah, I have tried to keep what I'm going to call the working area down there pretty symmetrical.
I'm thinking then, here.
Okay, you punch out the block you want.
Oh.
And I shall get to work.
That one.
So you want it to come up about there. Cool. So what I'm gonna try something. Now, I haven't tried this for a while, so this may take a little bit of finessing to get right. You have that like that. And that like that.
You're making a slide.
I'm not making a slide. I'm making a nice ramp. And yes, I know it doesn't help us once we get out of here, but at least it means that, you know, you're going up in... Yeah, there's gravity here, Tom. And whilst this bit is definitely going to be jetpack travel only... Well, actually, no, it doesn't have to be jetpack travel only. It doesn't have to be. Because Space Engineers has this wonderful thing...
Called a ladder.
Called a ladder. But what we will need to do, if we're going to put a ladder there...
Does this not need to be... Oh no, this is pressurised, isn't it?
Yes, this area is pressurised and airlock gated. But yeah, I had to turn the door round so that you had somewhere to actually step when you got off the top of the ladder.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
You keep forgetting that that's a thing, don't you?
No, I lagged over.
Ah. Can see how that would be an issue.
It'll be alright once we're in space.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just useful that we've got a way of getting up to the command deck if we all run out of hydrogen bottles. We've even got a little ramp here now.
Ah, there is... We can't get up there though without jetpacks.
Yes you can. You can just reach the ladder from there.
Can you?
You should be able to...
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you should be able to just jump on the ladder from there. You can even, if you stand on the gyro, you can reach the survival kit, which will top your hydrogen up.
Is that? Ooh.
That's that little blue window up there. You can.
Oh,
You have
for
to
Christ's
literally
sakes.
stand on the edge of the gyro.
Yeah, I can reach it.
So we have options now. So that's the important bit: is make sure you have a way of getting hydrogen if you somehow run out.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, they're so slow for going up ladders.
Yes, the ladders are painfully
Um,
slow, which is why your jetpack will be infinitely superior in all situations.
Interesting.
What's that?
It won't
What's up?
let me get up the ladder.
You're climbing up the ladder.
No, watch when I get to the top.
I think we may have a design flaw there.
I'm not 100% sure of what's going on. I can't
Let me
climb.
try something.
I can't climb
Right.
up the ladder.
Jetpack your way almost to the top and just try that last little bit and see if it's any different now I've removed the block.
I mean,
Yeah, I think you were bumping your head on the block. But that's fine, because they have given us the new technology of armor plate to make that not a problem anymore.
dang. That was so funny.
And look, health and safety, health and safety.
No, no, no health and safety. What?
There's none in the middle. You can fall into the giant air vent. It's fine.
And if you're out of
Hydrogen, you're
hydrogen,
stuck.
you're
Yes.
stuck. Oh, I thought I got out then.
No, you can't get out of a half-height large block hole without hydrogen. To the point where if that is still a hole in the middle of the deck, I may actually put a ramp all the way around it when we're finished. But we'll see. We'll see what the final design looks like.
We have another hole over here.
Oh yeah, that'd be because mirror mode was on when the initial block was deleted.
Yep.
I have deliberately turned my mirror mode off at this point because there's no way this is going to be symmetrical on the inside.
Oh yeah, no, this bit.
Right. Now I've capped off the cargo system here, assuming that we don't need cargo access at this top area.
No.
If we have to change it, we have to change it, that's fine. But at the moment, all of our cargo access is below. So, what rooms do we want to fit up here? Because I know I'm going to have to do a lot of the building, because a lot of the decorative blocks are in the DLC, so... So what types of rooms do you want to have up here? If you know, even if they're not properly divided rooms, even if they're just areas of a big open plan area. I mean,
The only
there's one
thing-
that I'm going to put...
For me, that's important.
Yep.
It's a pilot seat. Everything
Cool.
else is, I mean,
Oh yeah, everything else is decorative, trust me, I'm well aware of that.
so I'm
Right.
not overly fussed about that.
So I'm going to put something in here that I'm just putting in purely for your amusement.
It's a car seat.
And it will recharge your suit energy.
With it,
Yep.
can I shut? Does it have a door I can shut? Oh,
It doesn't have a door, that's why I've put it in that setup.
oh, the shower.
One, so it means... Yeah, there's a shower
Oh,
as well.
I
So
can't
you've
get in
got
the
privacy in the shower. No, you can't get in the shower. The shower is purely decorative. But yeah, I set them up like that, so you've got some privacy on the Kazi, and you've got privacy in the shower.
And what's
Unless
me?
someone happens to need the loo.
So is this basically a survival kit? At the end of the day.
No, it's literally just does power.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
do anything else, as far as I'm aware. It certainly doesn't do the production side of a survival kit. Right then, control suits. We've got a pilot and a gunner's seat that we're going to have in here, aren't we?
I think they are.
Although,
gonna
hilariously,
Go on.
one of us can now actually ride into space on the Kazi.
be- I think that the pilot seat and the gunner seat either need to be back to back or facing each other.
Okay. This is basically your ship, so you are leading on design on this one. I'm just making it work. So I have seats. I have selected seats.
Right there, that there. If we put one of them here facing the way that I'm facing,
Yep.
and then the other one on the other side facing that way.
Like that.
And then we're pretty much guaranteed to fall into this hole.
Yeah, about that.
You're going to fix the hole.
Maybe. Step back for a sec. Need snap points.
That's fair. Oh, I like that. That works.
So the air will still come through because metal grating is not airtight.
Yeah.
And I just needed that little snap point from the armour plate to... Ooh, actually there's a better way we can do that. A more useful... We can get a bit of function out of this.
Okay.
Whilst we're making sure that neither of us fall down the hole like we inevitably will. Excuse you, Tom. I need to place... There we go.
Oh, yes.
We now have some floor lights.
That's the point, we will need lights up here.
Yes. We now have floor lights. Right then. Which one's going to be the pilot's seat?
Doesn't matter. Really
Well,
doesn't
decide
matter.
now. Decide now because it is going to matter.
This one.
That one. Cool.
What is that?
That is an LCD.
What does that do?
It now displays a script showing you your artificial horizon. One thing I will warn you, the orientation of the command seat determines what up, down, left, right on the ship is.
That's fine.
So at the minute, if you push up, it it goes up, and that is forwards and backwards.
So really, then the seat should have been up down.
It's stuck to the wall.
Is it too late to change that? Do you reckon you could do that?
No, absolutely not too late to change that, because all we've got to do is delete them and replace them. It's not tricky. In fact, what we could do, because I liked that idea, we could literally just, and we will flip the gunner's seat as well, because otherwise the gunner is going to get really confused. The pilot is shouting directions. So we're going to need to go up there anyway. That's looking like becoming our roof.
Yeah.
We can still have an LCD there.
Oh, this is
And
bizarre.
so... Yeah, it will be. Okay. And so that the gunner has got something to do when he's not being the gunner, we can chuck another LCD down. Gunner, you having fun with that?
I like it.
And he's monitoring fuel usage.
I like the fact that they're like that as well.
I thought that might appeal.
Oop.
Right then.
Why won't it?
What
You
are
won't
trying
let me
to
get
do?
in the seat.
Which one?
This one.
Because on my screen you're not looking at a seat, you're looking straight up at the ceiling. Oh, there we go, now you're moving.
Oh.
Ah, you've just disconnected,
I've
that'll
been
be why.
kicked.
Yes. Would you like another invite, Tom?
Yes, please. Just watching me on your stream.
What, all of a sudden moving 4,000 times and then disconnecting?
I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for it. At the moment, I'm still staring, looking at the ceiling, not doing anything.
Yes.
Wait for it, wait for it. I'm still staring at the ceiling.
Well, you should have
Cool.
your new invite anyway.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Yep, cool. Right then. Right, let's throw some other random stuff down, shall we? So I think we need a chill out area. I think that's vitally important along Space Mission. Yeah, we've got the counselling couch.
This is comfy.
It is. It's very comfy. Very chilled. I'm now literally just going to start playing with the decorative blocks, and then we can actually get to sensible here.
But before doing decorative type stuff, let's let's get the roof on.
Yeah, we're nearly there with the roof. It'll be fine. In all seriousness, what I'm actually dropping down now is non-cargo network storage.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's useful to know exactly where something is every time, rather than having to search for it in the cargo network. So we've got weapons racks, because, well, guns, spiders, need I say more. And behind you there's a locker that I've dumped in, so we can put spare bottles and spare tools and stuff like that in there.
Yep. And the same over here.
Yep. Well, I figured we'd have a locker and an armory each.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right, I need to reset up that artificial horizon. Oh god. That artificial horizon is not happy. Not happy at all.
What's going on with that? Is that just because of the way we're facing?
That's the game going, your ship is pointing what direction now? Right. So yes, we should probably work on finishing the exterior of this thing. And I can put my mirror mode back on now. Because this is more or less going to be symmetrical.
Ooh.
That is not where I wanted to place blocks, game. Come on now. You're meant to read my mind.
Well, that did look pretty cool.
Yeah, probably.
But not necessary.
No. We are going to need those ones that I've cycled through about 6 times in that process. Going well. Right. That'll come up there. Oh, no, we don't want that one. We want that one, that one, that one, and that one. I'm gonna need those. Possibly. See, the problem we're going to have is the sides.
What's wrong with the sides?
This side. It's going to be getting an angle that looks good on these sides is going to be a challenge. Because ideally what you would have is that. But that's not going to blend very nicely necessarily further up,
If you get rid
just
of
because of how we're shaping it.
this one and put an angle one in.
Yeah, I've just got to make sure that we're not about to drop anything
Oh, yeah.
internally, so I was making sure it was attached. Because that had the LCDs attached to it.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure if that's actually atmospherically sealed on that slope at the minute, so we'll find that out in a second. Also wondering if it's worth us having an airlock directly into the command deck somewhere.
I was just thinking that.
I'm thinking maybe if we drop out one of the windows in this line,
Yeah.
that one or the one I'm standing in, make one of those an airlock.
Yeah.
Or both if you prefer.
Or both. Yeah, both is good.
Okay.
Because when we land, we've got to think about facilities when we land this thing as well, because it's got to dock to something.
That we've already covered further down.
Yeah, I know we've got that down here, but then there's a matter of getting on and off the ship.
Well, that's just going to be a jetpack job.
Not necessarily. Not if we have the airlocks and then we can link that up to.
That is going to be a heck of a gantry.
Not necessarily.
That is going to be one heck of a gantry that we will probably never ever use. And no, Dovahkiin, I have never given the game Neverwinter a go. It's not one that I have played, or really wanted to play, if I'm honest. I am very much more of a sci-fi than a fantasy person most of the time. Right. So we're at that moment, Tom.
Nope. There's still some holes.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. But I wanted to see if that's the right height for mounting this, or if it needs to go another layer of sloping the armour and then mount that. What do you think? Make the ship narrower and then stick the cone on top of it?
I actually like the idea of it being slightly sunk into the ship.
Oh, you don't want much, do you? That's going to be really tricky to pull off and actually keep this airtight.
Well, in that case, then just close it up there. That's fine.
I think. Let me have a look and see what headspace we've got to work with indoors. And I'm also going to try and keep the airlock shut so that once we do seal it up, we'll be able to see... Oh wow, I've been placing some wrong blocks in here. This is the other reason that it's good to check sometimes. Those should have been solid blocks, and they really weren't. It was a funky ceiling though.
It
Right.
was.
Yeah, so we can't have the ceiling any lower
Just leave that
than
like
where
that.
it currently is.
That'll be fine.
Which is... Okie doke. So... I'm going to actually stick another light in while I'm remembering.
Is that
Deliberately
actually
in
an
the opposite
airlock?
direction to
Oh
the
yeah,
one.
because it's two sets of doors. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a manual airlock. I think is the best way of putting it. Right, so in theory, that should now be airtight.
It looks so ridiculous.
It does look a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
I love
And
it.
it is airtight.
Awesome.
We are airtight. Just checked with the vent in the floor and it says we're airtight. As I can't remember how many we've already got on this thing, I'm going to hide another pair of batteries up here. Right then. Now we can start really decorating if you want to. Or we can just leave it as it is.
Well, I don't feel like we need anything else. We've got the sofa for while we're waiting to take off. We have the stuff to control it. The shitter.
Oh, there's one thing we do need, Tom, because it's me and you. This is a requirement.
Okay.
Well, let's be honest. We both like our food.
We do like our food. Kitchen.
Let's have a kitchen.
It's quite a fancy looking kitchen, actually.
I was going to say, that's about the size of my kitchen at home, isn't it?
Same size as mine.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, Tom. Right, we need to find another spot for something. Next to the door. Perfect. Because I keep forgetting that these things exist. The other thing that me and you like.
Oh, bar.
Yep, there is a bar.
Is that Space Coca-Cola?
It has Clang Cola.
Clang
It has Clang Cola and Clang Coffee.
Coffee is very much needed. That's Cosmic Coffee. Cosmic Coffee.
Cosmic Coffee. My apologies. Almighty Lord Clang will strike me down now for getting it wrong. Where's it gone, actually? This is the wonderful thing about Space Engineers. There are some really random blocks hidden away. Just trying to remember where they are. Corridors. Where? Ah, there they are. That's what we need.
Oh yes, I like that. One space.
It'll charge you
credit.
for it.
How can we access it though for money?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's-
You
sorry, as
start
in,
every
like-
game of.
Like if somebody puts money in it, can we get the money out? Do we get the money?
No, the game just takes it from you.
Well, that's a bit pooey. It's ours. Why should we pay for our own stuff? Cheeky buggers.
Franchised, Tom. Franchised. But yeah, you start every game of Space Engineers with 10,000 space credits,
Okay.
and that's just set by the game. Hilariously, though, the Clang Cola and the Cosmic Coffee both actually work as health pickups. And you do have to push the little green buttons on the right hand side to change between and buy. It's quite nicely set up. Right, we found a new way of keeping Tom occupied for hours.
We're ready. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Right, I think that's the internals sorted out.
What do we need to do outside?
Well, that's what we need to check. Is there anything that we want on the outside that we haven't got?
Apart from a camera for the thingy,
The thingy.
the umbilical cords.
Yeah, we've got that to sort out, but to be honest, that's going to be so much of a pain. I will probably sort that out off stream,
Okay.
because no one wants to watch me flying backwards and forwards going, is this the right one? Is this the right one? It's just not going to be enticing viewing.
That's why you have me here. I could just stand by it. If you see me.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll deal with that. I'm putting some spotlights on the front.
Have we got the other antenna?
We have no other antennas at the moment.
So the thing, the ore finder or whatever it's called.
Oh, the ore detector. Yes, we have 2 ore detectors.
Cool.
Right, we now have some front-mounted spotlights, so we can see where we're going.
Do we now have?
Do we want?
Do we have
Go for
enough
it.
engines?
I don't know, and the only way we're going to find out is to take the thing up.
Okay.
So we'll take a copy of it in a minute, and we'll give it a test flight. I'm just trying to work out if there's anything else we need. We've got some decent light around the payload bay, but we might want some situational lights. Just to give us a bit more of an idea of what's going on around us. Oh, that's already armour plated. I can't actually put... that might actually be a problem fitting the cameras.
Why?
Because we've got armour plate covering conveyor tubes.
Ah. You can't fix the camera to arm plate.
Which we can't attach the... we can't attach the cameras to. So that could be fun. So what that means is, when we build the landing pad for this thing, the easiest way of doing this is going to be where we've got the landing feet. Mark a spot on the floor using... Oh, I found the windows that fell out earlier. They're down here on the landing pad.
They didn't break, yay!
Really good glass. Told you, glass in this thing is tough. But yeah, so the way I do it, if there isn't somewhere you can sensibly mount a camera, is you paint a section of the landing pad around the foot.
Yep.
And have a camera, because it's going to be easier for us to find somewhere down here that can see a landing foot. I mean, all we'd have to do is chip away one of the backs of these supports, and we'd be able to see where that landing foot is.
Well, yeah.
Straight away. So yeah, what I'm thinking we might do is, you know, say we took. Let me just show you. Let's take a nice colour here, and what you'd do is you'd go. That's the pad that we want it to land on.
Yep.
So you would draw a box like that. Your landing pad is a 1x1 square, so you know that if you've landed on that square, your ship is in the right spot.
Yeah.
And that's going to probably be the easier way of landing this monstrosity, rather than trying to use a camera and finesse it into position.
Just do it visual so that, yeah.
Yeah, just have only one of these as well, so you know that you're always landing the same way round.
Yeah. Well, mind you, that shouldn't matter too much anyway, because we've got the access pads.
Oh yeah, the connectors are symmetrical, aren't they? Yeah. So yeah, we may well just go. In fact, let's put the cameras in, and then I'll do the setup later. So we're going up there, and we want. Well, and we're going to have them pointing inwards. There we go.
Cool.
Which means we have lost the lights that we had down here.
Have we?
So we'll move those up a level. Yeah, there was some lights that I'd put in just so that we could actually see what was going on down here. Let's put those back in.
Don't forget we've got to make a hole for where the engine is.
I'm pretty sure it'll do that for us the first time we take off.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure that's going to happen anyway. Having said that, for the test flight, I'm going to take a copy of this, and we're going to launch the copy.
Yeah, we'll see.
In fact, I'm going to lay down a completely fresh armour pad to enable us to do that. That's as close to a proper launch as we can get. I hope that's a big enough landing pad. Oh god, yeah. May have overdone it, Tom. Right. You ready to give this a go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's take a copy. Well, that's always a good sign with a Space Engineers build. When you get the grid is too big, preview disabled message.
So how are you supposed to know
That's
where to put
always-
it?
You get a little wireframe.
Oh, okay, okay.
And fortunately, we have a pair of mining ships attached,
We do.
which has given me something. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare to. Right, stuff it. It'll be close enough. Well, we'll get a good idea of if it can hover. Brace yourself. Not going to lie, Tom, that's not a good sign.
No. May need more engines.
I mean, I'm going to jump in the pilot's seat quickly and see if I can get it to thrust, and if it just landed weird because of the attached shuttles. Right, just in case this works, do you want to jump in?
Incoming!
I did leave one of the airlocks open for you.
I'll use that one because I'll close it behind me.
Cool. Not that it matters in creative.
Okay.
Oh, I have just realised something we really need to check. So, connectors. Which one of you is locked right now? That one, okay. Are you set for... Yeah, that would have been a problem.
What's that?
Right, so, there is now a setting on your connector called used for parking.
Yeah.
Which, if you use the Y button to disengage your landing gear, it also disengages any connectors that are ticked used with parking.
Oh, that means we would have lost the
So-
shuttles.
Yes, yes, we would have very much lost our two little mining ships, because they also don't have their dampeners on right now.
Whoops.
This is why you have me around, Tom.
Yeah, because I would have just lost
To
them.
think of the silly little things like that. So, are you ready?
Yeah. I got a nice
Do you have a
outside
nice
view.
third person... I was going to say, do you have a nice third person camera view?
I've crashed.
And you've crashed.
I have
So
to
your
get-
space engineers... Your space engineers has died on you. Right, I'm
My
going to take a
space engineers.
save. Did you
I've
get
got
a
gone.
crashed desktop? You are
I am,
gone?
yeah.
Wow.
I'm gone.
Right. At some point, remind me to teach you how to clear your reserve data.
I can do
It's a
that.
thing you occasionally... Say again? Say again, Tom?
I didn't say anything.
Ah, right. Yeah, at some point I need to show you how to clear your reserve data.
Oh.
Basically, it occasionally Space Engineers gets crappy data in its temp files, and you need to clear it.
I'm having real troubles hearing you again.
Are you? That doesn't bode well.
I think I'm
Have
getting
you
to that time of the
reconnected?
night again.
I mean, it is 9:45, so you need another invite.
I'm in the process of joining world.
Okie doke.
No, I'm joining. It's just taking its time.
Cool. Fair enough. When you get in, I'll check what your ping is, because that will give us a hint as to whether it's your internet or mine.
Oh, it's most definitely going to be mine.
I have no idea what you could possibly mean, Tom. Just the person sitting on a 600 meg fibre connection.
I'm still waiting for
I have to have
Vodafone
it for
actually
work.
give me 5G.
Did it fail?
Yeah, I think my internet's giving up.
No.
Try again, one more time. Once
One
more
more
with
time.
feeling.
With feeling. Right, Tom. Either we've been hanging out way too long, or we need to stop hanging out.
Emma!
Hey, I got a joining message this time.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's very philosophical, Mr. Ralph W. Emerson.
Yeah. Yeah, they do like to go for it with some of their quotes on those loading screens.
And I'm back. I'm back. Yep.
How do you bend your ship into a point?
With a hammer.
In Space Engineers, with a great deal of difficulty. To a distinct point is a very difficult shape to do with the current blocks in Space Engineer. The only way you can do it is if your ship has got an even line of symmetry in both directions, because then the four quarter pyramid blocks will join together to form a point. But if you've got any other odd symmetry, which is what most people build to, because all of the doors prefer odd symmetry, you've got hangars and stuff like that, yeah, you can't actually get a perfect point. You always end up with a weird blunt nose to it. Have you made it back in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Are you in your seat?
I'm on the couch.
Excellent. Do you have your external view?
I am looking at the outside of this feather-shaped ship.
Right. Let's go.
Well, let's try to.
Oh no, we're going. And you've disconnected.
I've been disconnected again.
You're just going to have to watch this one on the stream then.
Okay.
Because
I got my friend.
we are currently doing...
Watch it.
We are currently doing 100 meters a second up.
Are we?
Yeah.
I must be so far behind the stream. And then restart my stream.
So yeah, it must have been the dampeners not accounting for the mass of the mining ships. Yeah, I've made it to 4 kilometers. So it won't hover purely because of the mining ships that are attached.
So when it's full,
No, the reason it doesn't account for the mining ships is because they're not part of the grid.
okay.
The weight of the material in the containers is part of the grid, so it will account for that. It's because it's a subgrid.
Okay.
So yeah, if we... Right, I'm bringing this thing back down.
Oh Christ.
You alright?
Yeah, I've just come back in. You did get a long way up.
Cool. Yeah, I figured 4 kilometers was a pretty good test. Now, how quickly does she slow down? So I started the braking manoeuvre at 3 kilometers, and at 1.98 we braked. So from 100 meters a second, she needs about a kilometer to slow down.
Well, that's not bad going.
No, but that's empty. So we are definitely gonna have to be careful when we come into land with this thing. I am seriously considering those parachutes again.
What about more engines?
I don't know that we've got sensible mounting points for more engines.
That's true.
I'm also concerned because we cannot test this in creative. I am slightly concerned for our fuel usage if we put more hydrogen thrust onto it. We can easily stack up more atmo thrust. Tom, you've taken control.
I didn't think I could control from the other seat.
That tells me that I need to tick a button right now. Main cockpit, there we go. Okay, now you shouldn't be able to control from the other seat. Are you in the other seat?
I am in the other seat.
Cool, we're all good then.
Cool.
Because I'm flying. Yeah, I forgot to make this one the main cockpit, so that meant just whoever was the last one to get in the chair was allowed to fly. Don't think we needed as many gyros as we've got. That's a good thing. We can turn some of those down. I usually prefer to have more gyros than we need and then turn them down so that if you ever get some damaged, we're down. The ship is so tall I didn't realise we'd actually landed. But yeah, I usually prefer to have more than necessary, turn them down, and that way if you damage and or break some, you can modify your power settings back up again. Oh yeah, the auto lock kicked in.
Well, you got one foot down.
Yeah, I didn't tell it to dock, it auto docked.
Oh.
We need to turn that off, because that will annoy me greatly.
Well, yeah, because it's parked at an angle now.
Yeah, let me fix that. Magnetic plates. Oh god, of course there's all of the magnetic plates. That one. That one. That one. That one. Auto lock off. Third person camera please, thank you. Right, you ready to watch this go horribly wrong?
Yep. Ooh, we got one green. No, no greens. 4 greens.
There we go. So all I did there was turn the auto lock off,
Hang on, something's happened to
disengage
this
the
one.
landing gear.
What's happened to this one?
Hmm? Happened to what one?
This one.
It's
Right.
fine. That's green, same as the others.
It's not on my screen.
Oh, I think you were going for another disconnect, Tom. Yeah, your ping's pretty reasonable though.
I can't even see the lights. There's no lights at all.
Oh, on my screen that's perfectly green.
Okay.
Yeah, perfectly green, not damaged. That's what I was going to check. Right, we did 2% damage to the middle blocks.
Oh, okay. I see. On my screen, it's partially melted through the floor.
Ah, that's not great. Right. Yeah, so when we took off... oh, I don't think there's going to be an easy way of me doing this. Right, let's pick a different colour. We melted that block. We melted that block. We melted that one. And that one.
That's not too bad, actually.
No, they're very lightly charred.
Yeah. It didn't do anywhere near as much damage. Oh, that's gone. And you just put new
They're
blocks
like yeah, basically so that I can check it and colour it easily. That's the fastest way of doing it, is check it with the welder and then just switch to a different block, delete place. Yeah, that is all we damaged.
in. That isn't
that
even
takeoff?
under the main part of the thruster.
Well, we didn't come straight back down.
Oh, that's true.
So that tells us we need a, what are we, 2x2 hole?
Yeah.
3x3. We need a 3x3 hole in the middle of our landing pad for the main thruster, is what that tells us.
That's not too bad then, is it?
No. No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So yeah, that is, I would say that's about as ready to go as we're going to get it.
Looks like it to me.
The only thing we need to think about is we were going to stick a gun on this, weren't we?
We was.
Just in case. So where do we want to put the Gatling? The gunner station is on this side, and it has got to go into a conveyor port.
Oh, that's a cargo container, isn't it?
Yeah, but that does work as a conveyor port.
Oh, okay. We'll stick one on here then.
And hilariously, we can actually use the Gatling gun as a cargo access. If you go to the front side, so this side of it, it's actually got a little tray at the front that you can use as a cargo access port.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
And you can do all of your build planner and everything from that as well. Which is
You know what's
helpful.
happened since I got kicked?
What? Your controls all inverted again.
Yep.
Well, it's a good job you're not driving at the moment, isn't it? Oh, and because I had my mirror mode on, we now have 2 turrets.
Didn't we want to have one of the ports free though for a reason?
But we've got... Yeah, well, those ports are still free,
Oh yeah, of course that.
because you can access the cargo. And we've also got the O2H2 generators on the sides as well. Should we, for some reason, need a large cargo port. The only things that we might want to think about are parachutes.
I think you've built it on the copy, not the original. Or does it not make
I
any
have,
difference at this
but
stage?
it doesn't make any difference at this stage. Doesn't make any difference at this stage. This is the test model now. So yeah, last 2 decisions. Do we put solar on it at all?
Put what on it?
Solar.
Solar? Oh, for
Not the tech priest.
as in solar panels.
Like that.
I like them.
It won't give us much power, but it could be the difference between having power and not.
Yeah.
Especially if we don't want to run the hydrogen engines that are buried in this thing to save fuel while we're in space.
Yeah, makes sense.
I almost want to put another pair just so that they're actually efficient, but I don't want to make it any wider.
Can you not lay them flat on something?
The only other way you could do it... actually, I can't... We could do it that way. They're a really odd block shape, is the problem.
Yeah.
I think it was better sticking out like a little frill. I mean, the other way we can do it is like that.
Most it works, and it's not really much wider, is it?
No. Right. Have a look at the roof. Okay, looking at the roof of our... God, Oh, I've got to remember where they are. There they are. Right.
It's gone.
Temporarily removing... Yeah, it's temporary. It's temporary. Need to install something.
Oh, they're the parachutes.
Something I hope we never, ever, ever use. But I'm going to install 4 parachutes. Nope, can't have 4 parachutes because we don't have access to the internals at that point. So 2 it is then.
Hope for the best.
It was more I wanted to keep it balanced. And those will happily deploy through the antenna.
Oh, okay.
The reason I've put them where I have is if you come on the inside, you will see that there's a cargo system that you have to feed parachute canvas into.
Come on.
You can do it. There you go. Yeah, you see we've now got parachute canvas hatches.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have to manually prime them. But as they are an emergency, oh lord, we've run out of hydrogen as we're about to hit the floor, or oh lord, this thing's so heavy the hydrogen can't slow it down anymore measure.
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad about having them as emergency. So, and I will set those up with a manual trigger as well. So it'll be on probably the pilot's seat.
That makes sense.
There'll be a yes. There'll be a yes/no button for do I want parachutes now. So, right then, should we do a quick walkthrough and make sure that we've, everything is to our liking.
Sounds good to me.
So, happy with... Actually, let's kill our headlights. I've done mine. Yours are clearly already off. We need to fix these lights, don't we?
There's not enough light in here.
Right. Lights. Right, okay. If we're going to set all of these up, there's a job that we need to do.
Okay.
We need to go and disconnect the 2 miners. Because otherwise, all of the hotkeys that I set up are going to be looking at the miners. So if you just back it out of the bay and just leave it hovering there.
Oh, what's going
It'll
on?
be fine. Have you done?
This one's not hovering.
The dampeners are still switched off. Left bumper and Y at the same time.
Did I do it? Yes, I did.
Yes. Right. Sorry. That is a thing that I forgot to teach Tom. Moment. When you dock a ship to another ship, you have to turn its dampeners off. Otherwise, it would constantly try and stay in the same place. It will constantly try and keep 0 velocity, because that's what the dampeners do in this game. So you have to turn that off every time you dock, otherwise you'll be fighting the mothership. And that can result in some very weird behaviour. Yeah, that should be fine, Tom. Just leave it hovering there. Right, now we can set up the lights.
That was very
Now we
much
can
an
sort
oh
this
shit
out.
moment then.
Yes, that would have been. Yeah, I can entirely understand that being a bit of a brown trousers alert. Right, we don't want the spotlights, but we want all of the other lights. There is a surprising amount of lights on this ship.
Is there?
Yes. Oh, that would be because we've got a massive stripe of them down the hangar bay.
Oh, that we do, yeah.
Do we want blue or do we want something a little bit warmer? Probably want something a little bit warmer, don't we?
I think they
Okay.
should go red.
We are not having red lights.
Oh,
We will end up with a headache by the end of this. For that. Yeah, that should do us. So we've got a nice radius to it. Decent warm colour. Look at that. I've got my headlights off and I can actually see in the bridge. What's going on?
is that?
It's not right. It's not natural. Right then, shall we take a tour of the ship?
Cool.
I'm just going to shut all the doors so we can...
Oh,
It'll be fine. Yay, we're pressurised again.
right, so this is the bridge.
Yep, so we have bridge. Whee! And because we've got external lights, and light goes through steel in this game, our internal bay's lit up as well.
Woo! Ah, we may need something
what-
to climb up this. If we're ever in a situation where we want to get into those things in gravity.
Where we climb up what? What to the who now?
To the airlock doors.
You can make the jump from here. At least into this side. But yeah, I suppose we could put some ramps down.
Or a ladder. I don't know if you can...
Ladder's likely to do some weird stuff there.
Oh my god, I'm really struggling in here.
Yeah, I think we'll get this tour done and we might call it a couple of minutes early just in difference to our internet connection. But yeah, so those ramps should do the job. Ah!
Mind you, it doesn't like...
Doesn't like what?
Oh, there we go.
They take a second to sort of figure out how to use them as a ramp because they're not really meant to be one.
Oh no, not the ramp, the airlock didn't like me going in it the wrong way.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. I literally just stood on it and opened the doors and fell out. Then we have the payload bay, which I have realised if we ever get round to doing the other addition that I'm going to make to the base, probably before we actually build all of this stuff, which is a 3D printer, we will actually be able to print the cargo pods that I use for my orbital lifter.
Okay.
Which means that if we decide we need more cargo capacity on this, we can leave one of the miners at home
And put a thingy on it.
and put a cargo pod on that is the same as putting 8 small, large cargo containers on it. So almost the same as bolting one of the large cargo containers to the side of it, but in a much flatter package. But we'll also then need a whole thing of how you load and unload those, so let's not worry about that silliness yet. Right, and yeah, and then we just have the business end of Le Rocket, which it turns out does fly, which was as much of a surprise to me and Tom as it was to the stream, I would imagine. So,
Yeah, I was... That's bizarre.
what's up?
I was just trying to...
You're not very level. Bring the nose up a touch.
That's what I'm trying to do. It keeps tipping forwards. It's tipping forwards.
That's it. If you do down now, you'll lock on. Keep going, keep going. That's it. And now park. And you're
Cool.
locked. And now left bumper and Y to turn the dampeners off.
Cool.
You'll know it works because your dampeners will become a little red exclamation triangle.
Yeah, I saw that. You did the other one.
Yep. Ah, it's jiggled a bit. There we go. There we are. And done. That will also mean...
You're nowhere
Yeah.
near it.
Hmm?
They're nowhere near each other. Yeah, I've got green.
What, the connectors?
Yeah, you haven't got any green lights or anything.
It's connected.
Oh,
I've got green light.
oh my god. I also was lagging massively, so.
Yes, yeah, you are suffering this evening, Tom.
Wow.
Yeah, your ping has just doubled.
Okay.
So, I think in the difference to Tom's internet connection, I am going to call the stream there. We're only about 10 minutes early, 15 minutes early, so we will we'll wrap it there. But yeah, first thing we're going to build when we get back in survival mode, because I think we're now done in creative for now.
I think so.
Unless you want me to try and teach you how to build a 3D printer.
I can barely understand how to build one of these things, let alone anything else.
Yeah, fine. That's fair. That's fair. So, yeah. So we will grab blueprints of all of the stuff once we stop the stream. Because if I try and do it while the stream's running, it will definitely crash. Because bandwidth's a thing, and it stores all the blueprints in the cloud. So, yay. So yeah, we will blueprint this, and then next week we will pick up in survival mode again. He's off on his skateboard again. You're gonna break it with lag. Anyway, so yeah, we will get to building the finished version of this, its launch pad, and some 3D printers, so that we can quickly produce the mining ship. And I'm going to see if I can work out a way of actually 3D printing the main ship.
You reckon it's possible?
It should be doable. The only thing we might not be able to print is the antenna dish on the nose of it. That is the only thing that we might not be able to print, and we might have to put on manually.
What's that?
But because we would have to attach the ship to the nose of the printer, so we'd have to attach it by the middle of the nose.
Oh, right.
Essentially, that's where the sprue would be, to use modelling terminology. And what you would do is you would basically have a stack of pistons running up the side. You'd have a static pad of welders at the bottom. So the landing pad it's currently on would be a checkerboard pattern of welders.
Right.
You would then have pistons enough that it can go up to this height, stacked next to it, but also done in such a way that you can bring the projection right the way down to the floor. So a bit like your piston stack for your drills.
Yep.
With a projector on the end of it. And then basically what you do is you just slowly extend those pistons up with the projection. And as it gets enough clearance for each layer of blocks, it will weld up that layer of blocks.
Okay.
It's really cool when it works. Getting it set up the first time is always going to be interesting. So,
Especially something
yeah,
that sort of size.
oh yeah, something this size you normally only print in space, because you haven't got to contest with the mass of the thing you're printing. Because that's the other thing, you've got to hope that the pistons are strong enough to lift the grid as it's being printed.
Right.
So that's going to be fun. So I may I might actually come back to this world on my Wednesday creative stream, and I may test build the welding rig
Yep.
for this particular ship. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's likely to be Wednesday's stream. Is we will print or build a printer for this. God, it's going to be a nightmare. Anyway, we will finish now because your internet connection is dying rapidly, and you've had a busy weekend anyway. So I'm sure you'll appreciate the extra 15 minutes of bedtime. There's one job that remains for you, Tom.
What's that?
And it may be something that you want to think on. It hasn't got a name. At the minute, the miner is just called Tom's Miner in my blueprints, but the rocket doesn't have a name. So yeah, we may have to get a name on this thing at some point. But I'll let you decide what that's going to be and when you want to name it.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'm not very good with names, as you well know. I will give it a think over the week.
Give it a think. Guys, if you have any suggestions from the chat, chuck them up in my Discord, and that way both Tom and myself can see them. And just in case people don't have it, hey, look at that. Equally, if you want to go back and watch this insanity from almost the start, we decided that episode 1 of this is apocrypha and will never be seen again, so that didn't get uploaded. That's the VOD archive. And if you want to follow some of the other fantastic people that I happen to hang out with, watch on stream, and are generally awesome people to be around, go and check out some friends of mine. Special shout out this week to Casa, who made Affiliate.
Yeah, she did well.
I was watching her stream earlier.
That's what I.
That was very well done. Yeah, you were there as well. It's funny how we all meet up occasionally. But yeah, no, so well done to Casa on that one. I'm closing in. I will be there shortly. I am 27 of the 50 followers I need. And that's it. That's the last hurdle. So it won't be too long, hopefully. But we'll see. We shall see. So, thank you to all you fine people for coming along and watching. Tom, as always, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
At some point we need to beat your internet into submission, but that's a whole different problem entirely. Anyway, thank you everybody, stay safe, have a good rest of your weekend, if you've got any left of it. Unfortunately me and Tom don't. So,
this is it.
And
back to work.
Yeah, this is it, we're done. Yeah, back to the coalface tomorrow. Back to the coalface. And it will feel like it as well. Right. Have a good one everybody, and that is us signing off.
Yes.
Bye!
Bye bye.